Sometimes an aspiring MSL is already working at a pharma company, just in another function. So how can that person move into an MSL role either with their company or with another company? That's the topic of today's Aspiring MSL Insight. My name is Pietrack, and I head up the medical affairs recruiting at Kaye Bassman International, and I'm also the host of the Pharmaverse podcast. I've been placing MSLs since 2007, and sometimes those MSLs are already working in the pharma company, just performing another function. Does that sound like you? If so, you're going to want to apply these 3 tips. Tip number 1, try to transition internally first. Always remember this rule. If you want to change functions, it's always easier to do that within your own company. Because when you try to transition outside your company, you're then competing with other people who already have that functional experience. So network with the MSLs at your company, even the regional directors at your company. Ask questions. Be naturally curious. This will show people that you are genuinely interested in the function, which will go a long way. Tip number 2. Request a ride-along with your local MSL. I was working with a medical information specialist who was trying to transition into an MSL role outside of her company, and the hiring manager that was interviewing her passed on her because she hadn't done a ride-along with her own company's MSL. The manager reasoned that the candidate didn't take the initiative to learn as much as possible about the role to make sure that it's what she wanted. Now, I thought the manager was being a little harsh by passing on her, but the takeaway is this. Imagine getting that same question in an interview, but you can answer, yes, I did do the ride-along. So as you're networking and being naturally curious within your company, request a ride-along. Tip number 3, be willing to move. Invariably, your company is going to have an MSL role that is in a geography that's hard for them to fill. If you've been naturally curious and you've already done a ride-along and you've networked with the regional directors who know you, when you raise your hand to fill that vacant MSL role, you're likely going to get it. Now I hear you. Nobody wants to move. But once you're an MSL, moving back to where you want to live becomes easier. Getting the functional experience is the hardest part of the equation. So be willing to move to get that internal transfer. So if you're already in pharma and want to move into an MSL role, try those 3 tips. I'm confident that you'll be in an MSL role soon. Now, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Also, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn and make sure to join our private LinkedIn group called KBIC Jobs Medical Affairs. I earmarked the ones that are best for aspiring MSLs. See you there. Thanks.